there are creators here that are looking at what I do. I never see them in my likes. I see them in my story views, oftentimes within the first 15 people. They might even watch my YouTube content, but probably to see what I'm up to on there. There's one creator right now that's really doing it bad to a T. I pay attention to that stuff. You do too, as do all of us in this studio. You cannot be the original. The original will always outclass the duplicate. Welcome back. Wow, it's been so long. It's like we're catching up, you know? We've grown, we've done great things, and then we've also had great tragedy. Not really.
No.
There haven't really been any great tragedies, but we're back. It's 2025. We're back with the fresh season of This Isn't My Degree. And of course, this is my degree. It's looking absolutely terrible.
They haven't sent you a new one for this season? They should sponsor this.
I've always wondered how UCM actually feels like if they see me throwing this. Are they just kind of like cringing or are they embracing it? You know,
I think
they send me, you know what? They cookied me and they send me ads on Facebook that are like, you should get your mass communication master's degree. And I'm like, listen,
isn't that what you do with this podcast?
That's what the podcast, the YouTube, the whole thing is.
Yeah.
That's already mass communication. You don't no, I don't need these huge student loans for a piece of paper that's going to make me overqualified for a lot of things. So this is my degree in graphic design. And this, I almost unplugged the laptop. This isn't my degree. Welcome back to the show where I have casual creative conversations with creators.
Thank you for having me on. I'm very excited. I like your studio and what you've done.
Oh yeah, this is the new setup. What do you guys think? I've tried to make it a little more warm, inviting, but also just kind of like, you know, it's like commemorative.
Do you have your own stunt guy? Not stunt guy, your own prop guy?
Stunt guy?
Like,
what do you think we do on here?
I don't know. He's picking up your is that a diploma in there?
It's real. No, like you can actually look at it. It's real. I've taped over my name. We're back with This Isn't My Degree, season 3. Whole new look, whole new vibe. But we're going to recap on some of the things that you probably missed if you aren't subscribed to my YouTube channel, following us on Instagram. There's a lot to go over and kind of give you a glimpse into what to expect for 2025, because it's going to be I'm going to put it this way. I think 2025 is the year that I get canceled. But like, let me explain, okay? Because that's a big statement. I think the city of St. Louis is going to fully disown me.
Okay.
And I think it's going to be a reciprocated thing. I think I'm going to.
Are you not canceled already though?
I mean, I've been soft canceled because like I'm gonna keep it real with you guys. For both the podcast and my personal YouTube content, St. Louis isn't even in my top 50 cities. Let me repeat that. St. Louis isn't even in my top 50 cities. You guys aren't watching the YouTube content. It's like everyone's like, oh, wow, you're doing all these cool things. Like I posted the photo with Gordon Ramsay. Everybody freaked out. Oh, I posted that I'm at Nelly's Black and White Ball. Everybody freaked out. But literally anything else I do, St. Louis just does not care.
They don't help you day in, day out.
Don't care.
As someone that is in the scene, see you, talk to you almost every day or every other day, I kind of feel like you were already canceled. And then
wait, are people talking about me?
No, I just feel like just observing, like, I feel like you've been canceled and duplicated.
Oh, there are copies. Like
you've been canceled
yes.
And they deliberately will not invite you. They'll watch
yes.
your stuff.
Yes.
They'll invite the duplicate version of Dante.
They'll invite duplicate Dante. That's what I'm calling all the copies now. Cause like, I love inspiring people. I mean, I even put it like behind my Instagram bio, I actually say inspiring through video. That's because I've seen so many people get inspired and sometimes just like try to photocopy, video copy, however you want to say it, my style, everything I do, the niche that I'm in.
Weren't you the first food vlogger in St. Louis?
Was I?
I think you were, like, on YouTube.
I guess so. Yeah. Cause like I remember back when I started like doing St. Louis focused YouTube videos, I was trying to find people that did it also. Mm-hmm. But then like at that time there was only like VAT19 that did like their content on YouTube. And like maybe a handful of other people. Mm-hmm. Like there are big YouTubers from St. Louis, like Carly Kloss. She's from here. Mm-hmm. She has an unofficial name on a street downtown now. So it's like there are people from here, but I mean, for people to see real YouTube success, they almost have to leave.
Someone told me that I think it's Dallas or Houston. Like 3 of the top creators are from St. Louis. Like that highlight that city are actually from St. Louis. It's crazy.
It's crazy. Just like how, I don't know. I think I was ahead of the curve when it came to this stuff, but I think I was way too early. I think if I would have started what I do or what I did then, if I would have started,
you start right now, dude.
I'd probably be like infinitely bigger than I currently am.
Mm-hmm.
That's just real. But I say this while I wear a Chicago sweatshirt.
The original Dante, Braden, Brad Be Eating, also known as Braden STL, also known as at Opecast the pod, also Space Mission Marketing. So what are we talking about on this? This isn't my
You're gonna plug your LinkedIn too, or are we just gonna?
Dude, I haven't been on LinkedIn in months. I get tagged and stuff, and I probably should jump on.
Dude, LinkedIn is
so transactional. I'm about realness with people. I keep it real. I'm always me. So I do not like the train. I think I'm gonna start doing what I do on Threads sometime with questions. I'm gonna start doing on LinkedIn. Like, what is the actual purpose of LinkedIn?
You know what's insane is like I think that was like kind of my other bullet point as to why I think I'm gonna get disowned by St. Louis. Because I'm tired of playing the politics. I'm tired of let's all be nice to each other. Like I said on your podcast, which you should also check out Upcast, like definitely do that. But I said on your podcast, like you popularized holiday pop-ups here in the city where you might not have been the first to do it. Like, yeah, New York and everything has this stuff, but you brought the concept, made it St. Louis, made it Midwest, repurposed it and catered it for here. And then all of a sudden, every single place has a holiday pop-up and it's like not even inventive. It's just like the caught up in the hype and the clout and I see like he does these holiday pop-ups, but like maybe we could just repurpose our like old fashioned and call it like the Jolly Santa. And it's like, it's just the same drink with a different name. Or they go by Dollar Tree and get like a few Santa mugs and they're like, oh, cool. Now we have a winter pop-up. It's like, but are you looking at the details like this guy does? Are you looking at the details like Braden does, where he looks at like what it's like walking in? Like as soon as you walk in, you know you're in the ski lodge. You know you're at Avalanche. You have the avalanche rumbles that happen every 15, 20 minutes to build up to the actual avalanche where the whole freaking bar goes crazy. Whole event space. You have the Holiday Lodge. It's a ski lodge. Mm-hmm. It feels like a ski lodge.
Every little detail, man. When you think about it.
I'm tired of mediocre being the norm and it's accepted. It's unfortunate that like we have to operate this weird way just to like see some degree of success in St. Louis.
Yeah.
It's so bizarre.
Especially as people that put on for the city so much that like I do mine more for the people now than I do for the overall city. And I've been a little bit more open about that lately. Yeah. Like I do it for the people because these are the same people that are, you know, going into the same parks, same restaurants I'm seeing around town. So I do my stuff for the people. Yeah. It's no longer like, I don't know. I don't own half of downtown. I don't own half the city to be like, I got to keep putting on. And even if like,
you've put on enough. You always say that like I inspired the short form content, but I think that your impact has been like 10 times what mine was on the city. And it continues to grow.
But if you didn't, like it's all stepping. Like if you didn't tell me, man, you got to get in these short form vlogs, things like that, then I probably wouldn't have, you know? Which means St. Louis would have still, there's all these like steps.
Let me give you your flowers, thanks, man. Okay. You do a lot. And you put on, look at your freaking shirt right now.
This was like the only one that wasn't wrinkled this morning. Oh, thanks, man. Thank you.
Of his 30 St. Louis shirts from Series 6 alone, that's not even including the rest of the portfolio, like John Blanco.
I was going to say, you know, we represent.
Which are legitimate businesses and like really cool people that are actually doing things that are making change.
Yeah.
Like you.
Appreciate
it's
that.
Very
man.
Fitting.
Appreciate that. You're an OG, man. He's the one that told me to get into YouTube years ago, but we've talked about it. I'm actually at that space
finally
now.
Getting there.
It's a talent. It's a skill that I need to develop, you know, and you're really good at, I don't see you do it as much anymore, but when you used to walk around recording, bro, people don't understand how much of a skill that is to talk to a camera. Like talk to a camera, no one else is around, or there could be a lot of people around and you still got to be present to talk to the person that's watching the screen. That is such a skill. So that's part of the reason I did improv for about 2 years to really like learn it. And I realized like, as I'm getting more and more practice at doing it, it's like, if I do my research ahead of time of the place, I know what I'm talking about. It'll make things a little bit easier. I am a lot better in a live sense. If you and I were shooting a promo right now, it would take 20 tries, but right now we're just live. We're just talking.
No, we're just talking. That's how it should be, honestly. Like I think people put it in their heads. They're like, oh, it has to be perfect. It has to be this. But like even nowadays, like authenticity and genuineness, which if you have to do 50 takes, that is what it is. That's the thing now. And it's not just a trend. It's like, that's just how content is now. Like people are tired of the whole rehearsed influencer crap. Like, hey guys, today we're going to go here. Like it's becoming a tired formula.
I get so tired of it. Yeah.
Like honestly, I have been teetering on the edge of unfollowing all people that do that kind of stuff for probably the past 2 months because it's so old, it's so repetitive, and it's so like, why should I follow 50 of you that do the same thing when I could just follow one and get everything I need?
They're training the hell out of AI.
It's that too.
Training I really do not know.
It feels like AI content. It feels like
it drives me crazy, man.
Yes.
Because I literally like, look, AI has there's a lot of great tools. I mean, if you think about what Google's done for us for the last 10 years to find things, you know, whatever. So AI I think is a good tool, but man, I do not rock with the person imitating an actual physical person.
Yes.
Right. Like I'm cool with people having an attachment to Pikachu, Mickey Mouse.
Yeah.
Clifford, Big Bird. Right.
It's different because it's like there's
a separation.
Yes.
A hard separation.
Yeah. That's not real. And it's very clearly not real. But then once you start teetering in the edge of like using people's likeness, and like I've seen ads on TikTok recently that are like, oh, do you want to make up a scenario using AI? I'm like, what the fuck? Why would it, like, what? First of all, why does that exist? Second of all, the average consumer does not need access to that. Third of all, how many lawsuits are we about to see?
How many people are, going
Has the law even caught up to AI yet?
Bro, they probably just now think it's Allen Iverson. I need to get into Blue Sky. Blue Sky is my new one.
I've heard so many things about it. I'm just like, you know what? Whatever comes next, I'll just claim my handle and I'll just figure it out later. There are too many platforms. It's like the streaming service argument where it's like you have to have HBO Max and Paramount Plus and whatever the hell else there is now.
That's like Hulu, the big problem
YouTube
with football.
TV. Yes, NFL, ESPN Plus. Like you need like 50 different things just to have access to like what cable used to be. I don't know. That's
why I don't watch TV.
But I think, speaking with like TV and everything, I think YouTube is about to be the new TV. This is my prediction for 2025. Like, I know we're talking about, stuff that we've noticed, but I think for 2025, I see YouTube taking over as like the TV, because I saw the metric that like YouTube viewership on televisions grew like 50% this year in 2024. I think, and then like long form things like this are going to be the next step.
Yeah.
And that kind of stuff is getting pushed more. Video essays are getting pushed more. I think we're going to start to see a decline of short form content.
You know, it's crazy. I've posted 2 long videos. I mean, granted, they were very engaging ones. Like, he shot the black and white ball for me. I posted that video. Like, he did a hell of a job recording. I was like, dude, just bring.
Thank you.
We're gonna keep it as casual as we can because we don't want to make it tight, intense. And I wanted you to enjoy yourself too. Like,
yeah,
like we team up, we get in the room, we do the work, but then we can like just be us, like, and do whatever.
Facts.
But put together, I think by the time you sent it to me, I slimmed it down to probably like 8.5 minute video. I put it on Instagram and TikTok, and I'm like, man, this thing is gonna, like, when you put so much work into a video and then you're like, man, this is gonna tank.
And then you post it and you're like, oh God, this will not perform.
Dude, that thing had like 300, I think total right now. I still got to put up on YouTube about 350,000 views.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
And then like just the feedback from people has been incredible. Just like, you're really good at interviewing. I'm like, you should go see my interviews from 3 years ago. Like it is, I at least read up about people ahead of time and I kind of knew what I was going to ask them.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is what a prepared interviewer does.
Yeah. And you got to be different, man. They're always asking the same questions.
Oh my God. Especially because like we were towards the end after traditional media, which, not to knock them, but most of the time
we got to be on the main
these people
next year.
Gotta be, they get asked the same question, just rephrased differently.
Yep.
It's like, oh, well, what kind of stuff can we expect from you? And then, oh, what kind of stuff are you working on? It's like, it's just repurposed the same stuff. So it gets tired. And that's why, like, what you were doing, what Pascal was doing, what Mr. Gary, like, You could like
refresh. You can see smiles.
Yes, you could see like you noticed as people walked down, they were like getting just more and more drained. And then the second that you guys started talking to them, like the light was back because it's fun and lighthearted.
Yeah, like literally, what's your go-to karaoke song?
Yeah,
what's your...
you asked Nelly that, and he got upset.
Yeah, he was like, "What? I'm a real performer." I was like,
"It's like okay."
It actually hit me. It was like, "Dang, that guy actually is karaokeing like for a living." Literally,
wow,
the whole career.
Artists really are just like
karaoke.
They're getting paid to karaoke.
Yeah, I was like, "Damn!" Like I never thought about that.
I never thought about that either.
We went into that video performed very well, and I was surprised because it was an 8-minute
long form.
Then I just dropped this one yesterday. Granted, you know, people are curious, like, what are my top favorite places to eat? And it's a 4-minute video. And I'm like, man, this thing is like, this thing's going to do, you know, 300 likes, maybe 8,000. And Instagram algorithm's kind of weird right now. Cause it's like, I think last time I checked, it was almost 3,500 likes, 1,800 shares, 1,800 saves. TikTok's at like 40 something thousand. So it's just like, that's why I don't understand the algorithm all the way right now with Instagram, because it's like people are sharing it, they're liking it, the engagement is up, they're commenting. But anyways, like the longer videos, I've been surprised because it used to be the opposite. When you had a 40-second video, you had a minute and 20, it went shh.
You've got numbers on these.
Hey, TikTok's paying.
Yeah, I mean, on Instagram, you got 193K on the black and white ball. You already have 43K on your top 10 favorite eats.
And that just dropped.
This morning.
Like 9
yeah.
p.m. last night.
It's like, I think not only are people getting tired of it, I think it's just short form is just not.
Everyone feels like they can do it.
Sticking anymore. And the barrier of entry has lowered so far that you could pick up a DJI Osmo for like $600, have a microphone, a really good camera that fits in your freaking pocket, not just your phone, but you can go make stuff and you can use CapCut to edit it. And boom, you have short form videos.
It's barrier of entry. Yeah.
But it's more than gear. You know, I've always said this whenever it comes to actually talking about AI. Like, yeah, AI is going to lower that barrier of entry even more. But being able to tell a story, being able to keep people's attention and actually give them a unique experience while they're watching your videos, that's going to stand out. Like, that's going to be the defining factor, because you could pick up any of these cameras for like $1,500. I mean, granted, you're not going to have an amazing lens. We have really good lenses on our cameras, but like the S5 Mark II, these two cameras, the center cam and Braden's cam, you could pick up the body for like $1,500 now. Granted, the lenses that are on it are a little more than the kit lens, but GH6 that I'm using, that's like probably a $1,500 camera as well.
Damn, I didn't realize they depreciate it like that.
They do, but I mean, there's always going to be a new piece of gear. There's always going to be a new thing coming out. There'll always be a better microphone, better lighting, better sound insulation, better editing software, better quality. There's always going to be better. It's just a freaking chase that you can't keep up with unless you have like unlimited money. How can you tell a story? Can you keep people's attention? That's why, like YouTube, I always say it's way harder than Instagram, TikTok. It's more challenging than that. Because with YouTube, you have to almost do like 3 hooks.
You got to,
like TikTok videos, you just got to hook people in the first few seconds. On YouTube, that's because like on TikTok, people are scrolling through, the video will find them.
Yeah.
On YouTube, I'm getting thrown on the homepage versus like 20 other pieces of content. So I have to have an amazing thumbnail that's going to catch your attention. I have to have a good title that's going to catch your attention. And then I have to hook you in the actual video.
A lot of those.
You have to have 3 hooks for YouTube.
And then when you get them to the video, you got to keep them.
You got to keep them engaged.
So Mr. Beast, like what he does is such a skill.
People are tired of the short form, the super hyper edited stuff. I think people want and crave just that genuine connection again. And I think that's part of the reason why Mr. Beast did some questionable things, and there are a lot of allegations thrown around. I'm not going to get into that, but I think it's just people crave that connection again.
I think we're going to see more people in our realm doing the longer form videos too.
Yes. I think we're going to start seeing like, hey guys, today I'm going to take you guys to this restaurant. We're going to go through the whole experience. Or I'm going to go to this event and I'm going to take you through the whole experience. It's like, stop with the fancy edits. Just talk to the camera again. Talk to the camera. That's all it is. Talk to the camera.
I agree. And it's a lot more work. And so as marketer myself, and then marketers and business owners, make sure, you got to value that stuff appropriately. People can have, 1 million followers, low engagement, or they can pay for engagement. They can pay for followers. They can pay for likes.
All of it can be bought now.
Yeah. So it's like that person that's actually putting their face out there is such a skill. And, this is why I have an agency. That's why I do consulting, like really, because there's so much to it, man. And it like literally, I have the most unconventional, whatever. Like whenever I sit down with a potential client, I said, hey, if you don't see results in 3 months, fire me. And they're like, what? Like, what? You don't want to just keep doing this for a whole year? He hasn't
been fired yet.
No, I can't take on any work. Actually, I can to an extent, but I can't just take on any job now.
Yeah.
It's gotten like I get referrals, but it's like, you're not hiring me just to post a photo. Like, oh, I mean, maybe they are. I don't know. Maybe
if you want to do that, there are agencies for that.
Yeah.
If that's all you're after, there are agencies that will do that for you. And they'll connect you with the people, the creators. They will do that for you.
But yeah, that's secret sauce. That's why I do consulting.
I mean, honestly, I've even gotten into consulting for like podcasts, for all this kind of stuff. It's like, because everybody wants to do it. Everybody wants to start a podcast, but not everyone's cut out to, or at least in the beginning, they don't have the plan to.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, I just want to look good on camera and I just want to be able to talk to people. And it's like, okay, that's fine and dandy, but like, what are you going to talk about? Oh, I'm just going to talk about my experiences and talk about, the stuff that I've been through. And I'm like, okay, what is that?
Mm-hmm.
Well, how sometimes I do the job and it's okay, then you're not ready.
I wasn't ready.
If they stutter at that question, you are not ready to start a podcast. So many people think it's like so great. And like some people are just like, oh, I just want to talk. I just want to, here, I'm going to kick my feet like a little kid. I just want to talk and I just want to have fun with it. I just want to talk about my dog and talk about, oh, I had this dinner last night and people are going to listen. No one's going to listen. No one's going to care.
That's the thing. And there are some that maybe they're very, very attractive and people will just listen.
People will listen because people simp. There is a beauty bias in the world. Let's take a moment to brag. Okay. Let's brag for a minute.
Yeah.
What have we accomplished in 2024? We've worked on projects together, but we've also had a lot of independent things that have happened too. I think this year, I've talked with my buddy Luke about this, who's actually the next episode, but I've talked with him about there's like two types of jobs. Mm-hmm. Very rarely do they intermingle. You have passion and paycheck.
Yes.
Passion projects are things that fulfill you. They're things that you want to do and things that you get excited about. And it's like, yeah, cool. Like the pro versus beginner series that I did with Bryce, that was a passion project that didn't pay us anything. It was free commercials, but it was a passion project. We had fun with it and it was great. And we got to help out businesses. And it was like this fantastic thing that we did. And then there's some projects that are just paychecks where it's like, I don't have any intention of adding this to my portfolio. I'm literally doing this so that I can pay my rent this month.
Mm-hmm.
I've got plenty of projects that have never seen my website. You never see them on my Instagram stories. You never see the behind the scenes. You never see any of that stuff.
There's also those.
There are also projects with NDAs.
I was going to say, there's also those NDAs.
I've had many NDAs. Many projects that just have NDAs that I would love to be able to talk about some of these. Because honestly, some of the projects that I've worked on this year would legitimize my business so much more. But I can't talk about it because it's an NDA.
What else does it take for you to legitimize your business?
Honestly,
in this market, if this is going to be your market.
Like, it sounds weird, but I can post the most beautiful cinematic reel and I can post the beautiful short film, whatever it is I've made.
Yeah.
But if people don't see the behind the scenes or don't see you physically holding the camera, for some reason, it's like it doesn't land as well.
Right.
And that's just in the social media space. Like I'm in this weird zone where it's like I'm like trying to bridge the gap between like cinematic film, but then also social media if that makes sense. That's just a weird way of putting it. But it's like bridging that gap and like bringing those two things together because they both need each other and they're not going anywhere. But that's why I don't even know where it's at. The S9 I have as a BTS cam now because unfortunately people don't believe that you're working unless they see you physically working. Yep. It's like, even though, I can tell that that's Dante's editing style. Oh, that's Dante literally on the camera in the finished video. They don't believe it happened unless they see you working. Mm-hmm. It's like you have to almost allow people, the audience, to micromanage you.
Yeah.
Which is weird to say out loud, but it's like, that's really how it is.
I think if you're in it, like, if you're another creator, you're a business owner, you understand everything that's not seen. But then, there are a lot of corporate companies where they hire this marketing person that went to a university and they don't see the value. And so that's the person you have to show it to. I'm very fortunate, man. I mean, I still get my ideas taken from me all the time. I get, that stuff happens, but I am just fortunate that I have figured out marketing in this market.
Yes.
I know what it can take to pack places. And I've also learned, and I'll look at the camera for this. I have learned, even though early on, I was helping a lot of places, creators, big media entities on strategies in the social media realm. Mm-hmm. I've learned that like you can't give all the sauce away. And what's really cool about social media right now, it moves so fast. So you may take that sauce, not hire me, not hire you, or not want to work with us or gatekeep from us. But guess what? That social media is so fast. So those gates that would be placed in front of us and prevent that's something else. In St. Louis, it used to be when those gates were put up, because the way that the city moves, like politically, and this person's in charge of that. When you got hit with that gate from that company, that was it.
That was it.
That was over. But guess what? We're in this beautiful time where, we can reach people across the world.
Everything we're doing is way bigger than St. Louis.
The world is bigger than St. Louis. And that I'm happy all that stuff has happened to me by places I would have loved to work with that just made sense to me, giving them ideas and they bring in a different entity to work with. I'm happy because I see where they are. And if I was there, I would have been stuck in that group think, like, okay, this is it. But now my mind is going elsewhere. Like, people don't realize I'm the first one in professional sports. I'm not an athlete, but to create food, to be a foodie, the first one, to partner with like Delaware North here in St. Louis, who does the food for the Cardinals, but our partnership of highlighting the food, the dishes, like I haven't even done remotely. Like, I don't know. I've made content, but I want to dive so much deeper into it. Mm-hmm. But they now have foodies making this content all around the country, all around the world. Super Bowls. I mean, there's some, man, sometimes I wish I was up in New York because some of the creators I see, they get to have these like, they go into this like private box that's like high-end foods, things like that. So it's cool to see it replicated. We know we have the sauce. And I'm not like, it's Braden SEL. Anything I say is very constructive because I want to see it succeed, but I think I am over trying to be the one that always has to. I don't have to do it anymore. I think there are a lot of powers that be that have the funds, that have been inspired by the work that I've done, and watch all my content, but they won't hire me. They will literally see what I'm doing.
So real. Yeah.
Get it up, and if I reach out, it's just it's weird, but I am very happy with where I'm at. I do my stuff for the people. The people. That's it. I do it for the people.
I am going to add on to your whole entire point here. And it traces back to the question you asked, what legitimizes your business? And I think on a local level, expanding out of St. Louis.
100%.
Like, people will not take you seriously until they see you other places.
Yep.
Like, I'm currently posting my Chicago content right now. As you can see, I'm posting it on Instagram and it's the most engagement I've seen in a while. Whenever I did my trip with Jack Daniels and Woodford Reserve in Detroit, people were all over that content.
Mhm.
People were, I've never seen that many story views, that many likes. Whenever we went to Rosemary Beach and produced all those podcasts, did all that content, that was a ton of engagement as well. It's like when you get out of St. Louis, that's what legitimizes your business here, is showing that you're not just St. Louis.
Well, that's
It
what
sucks to say that. Like,
Yeah.
if we're looking at that just at face value, oh, a business that loves and cares about St. Louis
Mhm.
and supports St. Louis can't even get the support back from St. Louis. But then the second you see them in Kansas City, oh, wow, you're doing it. Oh, wow, look at you. Oh, they go out to Houston. Oh, wow, that's so cool. You go to LA. Wow. Seattle. Wow. New York. So great. Florida. Oh. But you post anything about, oh, yeah, we're giving back to the community today. We'll just keep going.
But they keep tabs on you.
But they keep tabs. Like I will end with this because this is a pain point of mine. There is such thing as getting inspired by people that you see.
For sure, yeah.
And things that you do. There's sources of inspiration everywhere. But there's a difference, a very clear difference between being inspired and straight up copying, ripping off, and just doing what that person's doing, but just the only differentiating factor is it's a different person. There have been so many instances, and this is why I'm kind of like tired of St. Louis, just being candid, is because there are creators here that are looking at what I do. I never see them in my likes. I see them in my story views, oftentimes within the first 15 people. And they might even watch my YouTube content, but probably to see what I'm up to on there to try to copy me. There's one creator right now that's really doing it bad. Really, like, to a T. And I'm not going to name drop, but I am going to say I pay attention to that stuff. And you do too, as do all of us in this studio. We pay attention to that kind of stuff. Because there have been people that copy you. There are people that copy Lando down to his freaking shooting style, his editing style, everything. Don't copy people. We do notice you cannot be the original. The original will always outclass the duplicate. Always.
I think that's the title of the podcast. The original outclass.
You can try to be Braden. You can try to be Lando. You can try to be Bryce. You can try to be me. But you will not be on that same level.
I think it's important. I always just tell people, be them. Like, just be yourself. Be yourself. Like, you're going to get better. Do what, like, you're passionate about. Not just because you feel like this is going to get you views, or you think about St. Louis. It's like the high school question. Like, we've talked about it before. I cannot stand to be like, I had a great time at high school. Dude, that's like 15 years ago.
Dude, like, yeah, it's like, what have you done since then? How's your mortgage? How's your career? How's your resume looking at? Like, what cool stuff have you done recently? Have you visited any cool places? I don't care that you went to state for tennis. Okay. That's like no offense, but you clearly aren't, you're not doing that now.
But it's
that's in the past.
It goes back to they ask you that question. They want to put you in this box. When people see you doing something, or they see they like, oh, I'm going to put this person in this box. I'm going to act like I've never seen it. I'm going to act ignorant to the fact this person's doing this. I'm not going to acknowledge it, but I'll copy them. Like, they're going to, sorry, I kind of lost my thought. They're going to copy, but it's like, they're going to copy it, but it's that old St. Louis mentality. And maybe it's like this around the country. I'm not sure, but it's just like, oh, I'm going to always look at you less than, and I'm going to act like what you're doing is not even happening. I'm going to copy it because I have more time. I have better equipment. I have more funds, more resources, more connections. But it's just like, that's the thing that's always kept, that's the thing. One of the things that kept the city behind. Like
the city is kept behind because all it can do is look behind.
Yeah, it's
like I said on your podcast, the thing that fascinates me about St. Louis is its inability to be in the present. The future, we're not even looking at. We're not even looking at it. Let's be real. We're only looking at the present. We're just we're a sinking ship, and we're just putting Band-Aids on every new hole in the hull that pops up. That's all we're doing. Nothing is going to change unless we just completely redesign the ship, period.
Yeah. Which from what I'm hearing, it's not.
I don't think it's going to happen.
It's
Like,
not
and
happening.
if you know what, actually, no, I'll say it will happen, but I don't think we're going to see the benefits in our lifetime.
There are enough great people that care. People that
Yes.
actually care.
And people that have the connections, have the funds, have everything to like that they can fix everything and build back better.
Mhm.
But I don't think you and I are going to be around to see it. No, it's like we're still talking about the 1904 World's Fair. Like that's still something that I hear weekly. And I'm like, cool, we had the World's Fair here. What about everything since then? Oh, but the arch has been built. Okay.
We lost Disney.
What else? Yeah, we had an opportunity to have Disney World. Fumbled that. We've had the opportunity to have so many cool things here, and they've been fumbled. Probably because people can't keep things in their hands. Like you can't even hold a drink as you're driving down those roads because the Grand Canyon's every 3 feet. Your fucking coffee's spilling all over the place. And then you got to get out, check your tire.
I think that, I don't know, man. I've stopped giving it energy.
Yeah.
You know, there are people that are doing amazing things here. You know, Chris with Profield, like Ricky with his run club, people building communities. You know, my say like, or my perspective is I've seen so many people like, oh, I like what they're doing there. I'm going to just do that here and just get my folks. And I have goes back. I have the funds, I have the resources, connections. And then that stuff always happens just for a year. Why not put your money where the people are? And until St. Louis does that, then it's I hate to say, I just can't give it that energy, man, because otherwise it's going to keep staying stagnant. You know, there are a lot of people, you know, that are able to profit off of St. Louis being down right now. You know, you got other downtowns being built. So
yeah,
what are the motives? I don't know. I'm not, like I said, my content's for the people, man. Mine's for the people. Mine's for, you know, I grew up in South City, pretty rough neighborhood, you know, and they still have their problems there, you know, but there were certain people in my life that believed in me, and, you know, that let me get to this point. There's still amazing people. There are so many amazing people in this city that have opened up and given me an opportunity. All I say is just give me an opportunity. You won't be disappointed.
That's
You'll be impressed.
Literally just an opportunity, a chance.
And so, you know, for me, it's like, it's bigger than that, man. Like people don't even realize, like I get to talk to schools about what I do and kids, and they want to grow up. They want to do this. But yeah, it's for the people.
It's for the people. I mean, that's the style and direction I've taken too, is I've taken more of like the fun teacher role where I get to, you know, teach people how to do content creation, because I didn't go to school for any of this, but I'm telling people things like, here's how you can do this with your phone now. Here's how you can do this with like minimal equipment. Here are the things that if you want to splurge on equipment, go after these things first. You know, it's like, here's how you develop your style. You know, it's like this stuff you can do. It's not catered just for St. Louis though. Like the ship has sailed, or the riverboat has sailed. However you want to look at it. It's done. Everything that 2025 holds for us is going to be way bigger than here. Sure, I'm sure opportunities will come up and opportunities will be created for people to join us with this stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, bro, the days of saying that I'm a St. Louis YouTuber are gone.
You're gone. You know, operate locally, think globally, go where you're accepted, not where you're tolerated. You know, I think if the city really wanted it, one, they would understand the time that we're in and the power of social media. We have nothing else to prove. We have the influence.
We don't have much left to lose.
Yeah, we don't have anything to lose.
We really don't. We already have no life downtown. We already have, and the people that are trying to bring life downtown, they're not getting support.
No.
Like it angers me so much to see like not really much said about like Rated Test Kitchen, for example. Like JR, what he's doing. I barely ever see articles, but then he goes on Chopped. Oh my God.
That's our own.
That's downtown. Oh my God. You should go to Rated Test Kitchen. He's been there. He's been trying to do things downtown. He's been trying to revitalize the community. But he goes on TV and then all of a sudden you guys really want to fuck with him.
They want to be tired. Yeah.
Stop riding on people's coattails. Okay?
there are grants out there that, we've applied for to really help put on for the city, and I'm done filling them out. Like I'm done.
Too,
I am done filling out the grants for the city.
Done.
Because I'm wondering like how many of these like ideas am I giving out? I'm done writing up,
bro.
So anyways, yeah.
Well, we'll save that for another episode. How about that?
They just have to want it. I'm still paying the 1%. I'm still paying my taxes. The city is not doing anything for me, even though I am literally, I've literally helped build this social media scene that is driving in tens, if not hundreds of millions of dollars of economic spending. People see it on social. They know they got to go to the city for this, for that. I've seen it. It'd be nice if they could support us like we support them. But until then, I do my stuff for the people that are watching this, the ones that, they are trusting me when I say top 10 restaurants. Like, okay, well, hey, honey,
pay attention to that.
This is going to be the only date night that we can afford for the next few months, or someone.
They got one place per month that they're going to hit up because of you.
Yes.
And then they're going to go there, have hopefully a good experience. And then they're going to tell people about it.
Yeah.
That's word of mouth. It's like, that's why sometimes it is challenging to like measure the power of social media to its fullest extent, because word of mouth still exists and there's no real way to measure how that works.
That's why I do my own pop-up bars and make my own video to sell that thing out.
Yeah, TikTok. Like TikTok sells.
TikTok. We can't get rid of TikTok.
TikTok sells.
Rated Test Kitchen, actually, I put it as the number one restaurant of the year because always innovative.
I can pull this
creative,
up right now. I'll give you the actual like
innovative, creative cuisines every time. Every time I went there, it would taste different.
Top 10 favorite STL eats of 2024.
What's
Suggested search is Rated Test Kitchen St. Louis.
We cannot get rid of TikTok.
This is what TikTok suggested to me, which means that enough people are searching for it that they think that I'm going to search for it after I see this video. So they put it there. So they're like, oh, well, we'll just eliminate the step for you.
We cannot get rid of TikTok. TikTok has been amazing. A very, very amazing,
TikTok's
impactful
incredible
platform. Get rid of X before you get rid of TikTok.
I don't even get on Twitter anymore because why should I? There's nothing there for me.
Right.
TikTok, though, I've learned so much about video production. I've learned different styles. I've learned fun facts. I've learned a lot from TikTok. And it's like, I think it's just a cool little tool, cool little place to be. And then it does help businesses. I know people that have literally their business success depends on TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
Like they sell out products, they sell out tickets, they sell out all these different things. And like, that's how they do their thing.
The SEO in there is incredible.
And then like the discoverability, the algorithm, there's nothing like it. So I don't know. I don't think TikTok's going to go anywhere. We'll talk about that on a future episode once TikTok is actually, you should check out, actually, I have a video that I put out about what I think the TikTok ban could look like on my main channel. I'll link that below because that's currently going it's going through the paces. And you'll have to let me know what you think of my new editing style because I've been really putting effort into this whole YouTube thing.
He really has.
With that said, thank you for joining, Braden.
Thank you for having me.
Float all of our stuff down below in the comments and the show notes, and then we'll see you in the next one. So this is another episode of This Isn't My Degree. Cheers to 2025.
Cheers.